Counsel. Michelle Boat didn't act because of some sudden, irresistible provocation. She was the provocation. Think about all of the opportunities Michelle Boat had on May 18th to avoid her confrontation with Tracy Mondabaugh. She didn't have to wait at the laundromat, and she didn't have to wait at Burger King. She didn't have to go to Vermeer and wait the 35 minutes for Tracy and Nick to finish their supper, coolly, calmly, patiently waiting. She didn't have to follow Tracy home. And see, she certainly didn't have to put on rubber gloves, grab a knife, and drive it into Tracy's heart. Think about what the defendant said explaining her behavior that day. At first, she just wanted to know who was driving Nick's truck. As soon as Tracy walked out of the laundromat, she had her answer. Then it was, I just want to see my husband and make sure he's okay. Talk to him. Moments later, at Vermeer, she had that opportunity. She could have talked to Nick if she wanted to. And then it was, I just want to see where he lived. And the moment that Tracy Mondabaugh pulled into 101 Glenwood, Michelle had that answer too. But the second that Michelle Boat puts that Cadillac in park and attacks Tracy Mondabaugh, her justification goes out the window. I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that Tracy's death that day was not the result of some avoidable circumstances, as the defense would have you believe. This was the result of planning, plotting, and premeditation. Michelle Boat warned Tracy, I'm only going to warn you once. He's mine. And this is weeks before. Tell Tracy she messed with the wrong mama. I couldn't help but think, as Mr. Anderson was talking about hatred, listen to the tone of voice Michelle Boat used and the words that she used, and decide for yourself if that's hatred. On May 18th, Michelle Boat had already assembled all the tools that she needed for murder. She had the knife, she had the gloves, she had the binoculars, all with her, just waiting for one final ingredient. And that was opportunity. And when Michelle drove past the laundromat and saw Nick's truck, she sensed that opportunity. Michelle knew she couldn't carry out the attack at Burger King. There's too many people. There's cameras. She knew she couldn't do it at Vermeer. There's security. Nick was there. And when she had threatened Tracy on a prior occasion, security came. Michelle Boat was just waiting for the right opportunity. And that opportunity had to leave Tracy Mondabaugh alone, isolated, and vulnerable. And as Tracy Mondabaugh pulled into 101 Glenwood and put the truck in park, turned off the ignition for the last time, Michelle Boat saw her opportunity and she took it. We can listen to the defendant's own testimony, and it is enough for first-degree murder. Michelle Boat testified that as she stood alongside of that truck that Tracy Mondabaugh was driving that day, she could have walked away. That could have been it. Tracy Mondabaugh posed no threat to Michelle Boat that day. The knife fight came to Tracy Mondabaugh courtesy of Miss Boat. And the reason why Michelle Boat couldn't walk away is because that wasn't part of the plan. Through some twisted, sinister logic, Michelle Boat thought that if she killed Tracy and Tracy was gone, that Michelle's life would go back to normal, that it would go back to the way it was. That is why Michelle Boat killed Tracy Mondabaugh, not out of some sudden, irresistible impulse. Ladies and gentlemen, you have not heard one piece of evidence in this case that would justify a reasonable person to act in the way that Michelle Boat did that day. Tracy Mondabaugh's mere existence, her relationship with Nick, the fact that she had a cigarette maybe on the way home, that is not some sudden, irresistible impulse that a reasonable person wouldn't be able to withstand. I'd like to point something else out to you that maybe wasn't obvious through the evidence. Michelle Boat testified that when she arrived at 101 Glenwood to confront Tracy Mondabaugh, that she got out of the car first without the knife, that she approached the window and there's a fight. And then at some point she decides that she is going to go to her car and get the knife. Her own words, she comes back, stabs Tracy Mondabaugh. Well, Tracy Mondabaugh is still buckled in her seatbelt. I suggest to you, ladies and gentlemen, that the evidence shows that Tracy Mondabaugh never had a second to breathe. There was no pause in this altercation. It's reasonable to believe that if Tracy Mondabaugh had a timeout, she would have unbuckled her seatbelt, she would have tried to get out, she would have tried to start the truck, she would have tried to roll up the window, something. When Michelle Boat got out of that Cadillac and approached Tracy Mondabaugh, she had the knife with her. That was all part of the plan. Mr. Anderson talked a bit about some of the evidence that Michelle left behind, the necklace and the windshield, a few other things. Just because Michelle Boat didn't pull off the perfect murder, that there was no evidence left behind, says nothing about her planning, her plotting, and premeditation. She tried to hide as much as she could. She just didn't get it all. Ladies and gentlemen, you get to use your common sense. You get to bring that along with you. Please, I encourage you, use your common sense when you're deciding this case. Mr. Anderson said that there's voluntary manslaughter on the books for a reason. There's first-degree murder on the books for a reason as well. And that is because on May 18th, 2020, Michelle Boat deliberately, willfully, and with premeditation and malice of forethought, killed Tracy Mondabaugh. And for those reasons, State of Iowa requests that you bring back a verdict of guilty, finding Michelle Boat guilty of first-degree murder. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Harmon.